Lafitte Pinkai here to take you through the week that was on HRTV.
Well, it's the Summit of Speed today at Calder Racecourse. 12 races on the card. A nice early post. We'll get you up to date on scratches and changes here early on Race Day America. And we do have a all-graded stakes
There's
late
Kate
pick
getting ready for work. She's on her way.
And Terrence with the cup in his mouth.
Move out of the way, Terrence.
Nice shot, Terrence.
Forget about the mic flags.
That's our brilliant producer.
Right now, they're just getting set up. Is he waving? No, he's just kind of...
Is that reality television or what?
Yes.
The hottest thing in Florida was the 11th annual Summit of Speed at Calder Racecourse.
The Summit of Speed. The day Calder takes main stage.
Lost in the fog as advertised in the carryback stakes. He's going to win it easily by about 6.
Now, in its 11th year, the Summit of Speed includes 7 stakes races worth over $1 million. The fastest from the north ships in.
Here's the Funny Bone! To take the lead, it's going to be the Funny Bone, who strides home a decisive winner.
Don't blink or you'll miss the show.
Warbling and Julian LePeroux take the inside information.
With the Smile Sprint and Princess Rooney offering guaranteed trips to the Breeders' Cup at Churchill Downs. LeBron isn't the only thing catching the nation's eye in South Florida as HRTV presents the 2010 Summit of Speed live from Calder Racecourse.
Chahulaki just in front. Square deal, Tahoe Warrior, Lord Robin the far side. Here comes Tahoe Warrior. Tahoe Warrior and Edgar Prado now sweep onto the front. And it's Tahoe Warrior fresh off the claim to win the Bob Humphrey Turf Sprint. Because I Like It, Awesome Feather, these two doing battle in the JJ's Dream. And here comes Awesome Feather on the inside. Awesome Feather, Because I Like It, Awesome Feather sticking her nose in front. And Awesome Feather wins the JJ's Dream. Good looking run here from Little Drama. He's powering into the final 16th of the Frank Gomez. And Little Drama will break his maiden in a stake race. Little Drama by 7 in the Frank Gomez. Buckle Up Buttercup is going to chase from the outside. Cruz going to work on Pika Slew. She's clear coming down to the line. And Pika Slew will win the Azalea Stakes. Coffee Boy is trying to rally through on the inside. The Funny Bone's going to have to work. Coffee Boy's trying to slip through, and he's coming on through. Here comes Coffee Boy and Jermaine Bridgemahan, and they score the upset in the carryback.
The highlight of Saturday's card was the Grade 1 Princess Rooney Handicap.
Jessica is back. An absolutely commanding performance in the Ocala. Clear by 7 in the end.
Mother Ruth a blowout in the Ballot Expectation Stakes.
Hourglass down inside, rightly so in Starlight. 3 of them hit the wire, and Hourglass got there.
Warbling and Julian LePeroux take the inside information.
First passage wins the You Can Do It.
It is Due by Majesty who is going clear. Due by Majesty, second win in the winning colours.
These 5 of us separated from the others, and Warbling now kicks for the line. Warbling top of the stretch, and she shifts into overdrive and opens up a 3-length lead. Mother Ruth still there in the second spot. Jessica is back rallying from between runners. Up on the outside is Dubai Majesty. It's Warbling over 16th out. Here comes Jessica is back. Jessica is back, and Elvis Trujillo now swooping onto the lead, and Jessica is back, wins the Grade 1 Princess Rooney.
Is that kind of what you expected to be coming from off the pace?
Yeah, the horse surprised me today. You know, I think so. This is whoops. It's long, long time not running in the spring. It's so hard race. No, but the horse strike very hard.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of another filly that you had a lot of success with in the Breeders' Cup, Merrifield, another one that used to come from off the pace. Does this filly give you hopes for another Breeders' Cup win?
Yeah, sure. You know, hope. You know, Merrifield is nice horse, nice filly.
Elvis Trujillo, winner of the Princess Rooney on Jessica is Back.
All right, so we've got the Summit of Speed in South Florida, so we have a Summit of Speed bullet drill real quick here.
Okay.
Name a star in the movie Speed.
Sandra Bullock was in that one.
Yeah, it didn't go with the guy Keanu Reeves.
No, I would go with Sandra Bullock.
Okay. Right. What is Speed Racer's girlfriend's name?
I don't know.
Cartoon or movie? Trixie.
Trixie. Okay.
All right. And Speedy Gonzalez was the fastest mouse where?
It's got to be Mexico.
He was the fastest mouse in all Mexico. The fastest thoroughbreds are in South Florida this weekend at Calder Race Course.
1986 Breeders' Cup Sprint champion Smile was honored with his very own handicap as well.
Lights out! Takaroo, wow, what a race in 110.
Mambo Meister is on his game today, and he wins the Memorial Day handicap by 6. Big Drama off his long layoff, but he's gotten a lead. Big Drama's back to the winner's circle. He wins the Punch handicap.
Congressional Page down the center of the track. Here he comes. Congressional Page runs them down in the decathlon.
Here comes Big Drama, and Abarcoa has not moved a muscle on him yet as they come to the top of the lane. Big Drama, top of the stretch, and he's the one to catch. And now Koa shakes him up as they come to the final furlong. It's Big Drama. He is responding. Big Drama out to a 4-length lead. How's Your Halo runs second. Late run on the far outside from Mambo Meister. It's Big Drama, Mambo Meister, and How's Your Halo in a Calder trifecta. Big Drama wins the Smile Sprint.
With the winning team, and goes to say they like drama. Abar, tell me about your trip.
It was a lot of drama down here in Florida today. I mean, it's not really much I can say. He showed himself. He was very professional today. I'm gonna say this. He was a little bit much better than last year mentally. He was very professional. He broke right there. He allowed me to put him where I wanted to put him. He took me to the lead by the quarter pole, and he just took off from there. And again, it was very professional riff from him.
Well, congratulations both on this and Little Drama's victory. And David, how about it? Is he better this year than he was last year?
Yeah, he's grown up a lot. He's a bigger, stronger colt than he was last year.
And what's the plan from here?
Well, we got to take it to the Breeders' Cup, and I'm sure there'll be something in between.
The horses got a break from the action on Saturday as their jockeys took center stage.
Racing all over the country. Obviously, the Summit is Speed, where everybody's as fast as possible, and hopefully we'll be picking up some pretty good money. Jockeys, well, they get their percentage if they're on the horse, but what happens if they're by themselves, if they're doing the running? I wonder if they get paid for it. Well, that just happened a few moments ago. Take a look at this. Out of the starting gate and rolls. The horse, I say, but the rider that I thought was going to win was the 6. And
he got left?
Yeah, he got left.
Who was that?
I don't know. He started a couple times.
Who is this barefoot rider?
Luis Arango. So Luis, pretty darn fast. Look at him. He's just got,
daylighting the field.
He's got that confidence like it was in the bag. I wonder if they make any side bets. I wonder if everybody's in there putting some money in a pool.
Here's Music Show down the outside. Hughes again. What an afternoon for the jockey. Music Show eased to the front, and he's going to go and win decisively. Music Show wins the Falmouth. Memory's now out in the clear, begins to thrust down the outside. Hooray, here's Memory over the top of them, and Memory remains unbeaten and wins the Cherry Hinton. Redwood is beginning to run on strongly from the rear, and then Spanish Moon. Sans Frontier in front, keeping Redwood at bay, and Sans Frontier repels them to win the Princess of Wales's stakes. Couple of 100 yards to cover. Nebras is bearing down on him. Lebrano, more in determining mood, is keeping Nebras at bay. Lebrano clinging on grimly. Hannon in the winner's enclosure again. Lebrano wins the July stake. Past the furlong, Harris, Tweed and Corsica. Corsica on £18 better terms compared to their Musselburgh meeting, but Harris Tweed won't lie down. These two lock horns in the Bahrain Trophy. Corsica is just inching on, and Corsica gains his revenge. Frankie in front.
Star Spangled Banner and Alberta still the close
closest pursuers with Kingsgate Native. Star Spangled Banner as Equiano tries to dig in. Star Spangled Banner, Equiano is fighting back. Star Spangled Banner still just in front and won the Darley July Cup. Still King Taurus heads the chase. Ecliptic veers violently over to the near side rail. King Taurus in front as a result. Ecliptic with the rail to help fighting back, however. King Taurus himself wanders. Ecliptic's got a second bite of the cherry, but King Taurus held on.
The late George Washington's only foal honored his memory with a spectacular debut at Newmarket.
As they race now towards the final 2 furlongs, Zanazzi is out in front from Morticia. Date with Destiny is looking for the gap now, looking to angle 3 to challenge. Ventos is still there. Opera Dancer now staying on as they come towards the final furlong. Zanazzi in the green colours, about to be joined by Date with Destiny. Down the outside, Opera Dancer still staying on inside the final furlong. Date with Destiny hit the front, goes on here from Zanazzi and Opera Dancer, and racing up towards the line. It's a dream debut for Date with Destiny to beat Zanazzi. Opera Dancer third. They were miles clear from Morticia, and then some late headway from Rosa Midnight, and these were then followed by Ventos.
The only offspring of gorgeous George, George Washington. His daughter does him proud. Date with Destiny. And Hughesy, Richard Hughes, just sitting early. Didn't ask her till late. And Scott, she didn't seem too pleased to be there up on the front.
You see her, the way her head is, she takes a couple of bobble steps, and then right here she'll kind of, you know, ease up and be okay at that point. But it was an interesting run. She was back behind horses. She down on the inside. Hughes gets her off the rail, finds cover, sits, and she just continued to travel well. And that was her first start. So they've got to be very pleased with Date with Destiny, and she will certainly get some press in the UK, deservedly so, being the only offspring that we will see for George Washington.
That's right.
Halfway through the year, John lists his top 10 performances thus far.
Kind of hard to believe that the first half of the year is in the rearview mirror. It's in the books, and with that in mind, each year I come up with a top 10 list for the top performances by a thoroughbred at an American track for the first half of the year. We'll start at number 10, Blind Luck, who came from last in the field of 14 to nose out Evening Jewel, Super Saver in the Kentucky Derby. Of course, the Kentucky Derby carries a lot of weight just because it's the Kentucky Derby. Blame with that tremendous stretch kick in the Stephen Foster. And Rachel Alexander with their first win of the year ranks number 7 on my list for her victory in the Fleur de Lis.
Well, of course, Rachel coming back, and that was the first time she'd really shown any, glimpse in the mirror of her former self, and I think she's absolutely back, and now she might have a chance to even improve upon it.
Escandrea with that huge win in the Fountain of Youth, and not only did Escandrea rank number 6, but also number 5 for his tremendous victory in the Wood Memorial. So that's the highest ranking race by a 3-year-old for the first half of the year. And then the top 4 slots, Zenyatta, Quality Road.
Quality Road, yeah. When he's right, he's right. And he's been right for a while now.
2 of John's top 10 moments this year involved Churchill's top jockey, Calvin Burrell.
Calvin, forgive me for not betting Super Saver in the Derby. Thanks for taking the time. How are you, buddy?
Oh, doing very good, sir. How you doing?
We're doing great. It's great to have you on the show. And, what a whirlwind of a meet. Congratulations on your first spring title as leading jockey at Churchill Downs.
Yes, sir. Had a good meet, sir. Unbelievable. Horses fell into places, and my agent's doing a good job. And just everybody, my wife's 100% behind me, and couldn't ask for a better meet, sir. It started off good and it ended off good, and that don't happen too often. And I've been very fortunate.
Calvin, was this a goal of yours? I was actually surprised to learn that you had never actually won this meeting, and of course you won it in a runaway. I mean, is this something that you really take pride in?
Yes, sir. I win the other season, not the fall. I mean the summer meet. I always win the fall meet. I win it a couple of times, and it was a big honor. When me and Jerry got here, and opening day, I win like 5, I think 4 or 5, and I said, well, if we're gonna win it now, we got to go ahead and get jiggy with it and work hard and find the right horses. And I still had my 2-year-olds coming along, Super Saver and a couple other 2-year-olds, and It was just to find the right horses at the right time.
On your mark, get set, go! And they're off. Early start for Star. Rachel Alexandra, just like last time, showing good speed. Here comes Rosie on the outside. Rachel Alexandra. And a flying Sharky made that very interesting. Rosie was in between them in a blanket photo.
Well, showing the class and talent that the thoroughbred shows on the racetrack. Rachel Alexandra.
See Rosie flying on the outside? She wanted some even after the finish line.
Feisty little devil.
Gio Ponte went for his second consecutive Man of War win for trainer Christophe Clement.
Has Gio Ponte's body language changed at all since his last race? Has he gotten any better?
I don't know if he's gotten any better. I think his body language looks pretty good to me. Maybe he's a bit tighter, a bit fitter. But I don't know if he's actually any better. He's probably a bit tighter.
Right, and we're looking back at the Manhattan on June 5th. Now, I suppose if he has to be defeated, if it's by a stablemate, that's better. But this wasn't the easiest of trips. What was your impression of how much this trip cost Gio Ponte?
I'm not sure. I mean, I just thought, you know, the problem that I've got sometime in racing today is everybody complains that we don't run horses enough. And I don't duck out anything. He went to Dubai, he went great, comes back. I ran him right back from Dubai in the Manhattan. I did not give him more than 2 months. You know, he ran a nice race in the Manhattan, and everybody keeps talking about the horse keep getting beat. And, you know, we've got to be sometimes a bit careful regarding all these horses. When we reach that level, you know, we try to campaign them. So you've got 2 or 3 ways to do it. I mean, I could run Gio Ponte in much easier races than the World Cup or the Manhattan or the Man of War and choose, you know, easier spot. You know, by choice, I think the horse is a very nice horse and he belongs to that kind of races because I think he's the leader of his division, even if you don't always win. But I think sometimes we've got to be a little bit careful because we get negative a little bit too quickly when a horse gets beat, even if you run a nice race. And I think at the end of the game, you've got to look at the career, not just the one race, you know.
And Gio Ponte is 4.5 lengths from the lead in behind horses as the field turns for home. Mission Approved still on top. Mission Approved is still the leader. On the outside, here comes Expansion now. Gio Ponte comes up for running room, and he's got 1 furlong to get to the wire. But it's still a huge long shot, and Mission Approved in front. Expansion, Gio Ponte. Mission Approved, he's 50-1. Here's Gio Ponte on the outside, and Gio Ponte did it like a champion that he is.
Jockey Joel Rosario hopes to have luck on his side in the Delaware Oaks.
As Carolyn mentioned, you rode Blind Luck a long ways back, going back to almost a year at Del Mar when she was still sprinting. She was going 5.5 furlongs. She was in a start allowance race, and boy, has she progressed since then. How will you ready yourself for this? Have you, you know, we just showed back the Kentucky Oaks. Have you talked to Bejarano? What are you doing to prepare yourself for tomorrow's run in the Delaware Oaks?
You know what? The first time she won in here in Del Mar, I think it's last year, and I rode it. She broke by 5.5 furlong and passed at 16, but she just uneasy. I just put my head down and she's a nice filly. You know, I know her really well. I've been working, so let's see what happens. See how we go tomorrow. You know.
Did you work her the last couple of times?
I worked it like I think 2 or 3 times. Yeah, after she ran after she ran last time, I think it's Hollywood last race.
Did you have a target, a rabbit, someone to catch with her?
No, I just work it by myself, yeah.
Because it seems pace has been her nemesis or her biggest difficulty because sometimes if they go slow up front, she has trouble catching them. Have you thought about that in your mind?
Maybe, yes. You know, she's a nice horse. She can do whatever. She can be, too far back. She can be a little, I don't want to push it to getting a little more close in the race, but she's the last time I think the pace was slow, for her. Maybe that's why she got beat.
Top of the stretch, Derwin Star's trying to steal this one. Up on the outside, Habit of Grace. Blind Luck is kicking in on the far outside. Here comes her patented run. Furlong to go, Derwin Star digging in. Between horses, Habit of Grace, Blind Luck on the outside. She's rallying as she always does. Here comes Blind Luck to take on Habit of Grace and Derwin Star. It's going to be a 3-way thriller. Can she get up? Blind Luck, Habit of Grace in a head bob. Habit of Grace and Blind Luck. That could go either way, right to the finish.
Yeah, what a thriller in the Grade 2 Delaware Oaks, coming down to Havre de Grace and Jeremy Rose and the Kentucky Oaks champ, closing with giant strides, Blind Luck and jockey Joel Rosario.
I'm not sure she got there, Lafitte. She had every chance for sure. She's right alongside Havre de Grace, and I think the inside might have held, but they're starting to bob here. When they do that, anything goes. Here's the wire. Oh, outside?
Blind Luck reaching. I don't know that she was ever in front of Havre de Grace except
at the wire.
At the wire.
Yeah, if she wins this, I don't know.
This is a Victory Gallop, real quiet-esque. Wow. And of course, Rosario taking over for Bejarano. Rafael Bejarano riding Rail Trip in the Hollywood Gold Cup this afternoon. Rosario riding Blind Luck the way Blind Luck needs to be ridden. Took her back, made the one run, and now it's just a matter, and that quickly, the photo is down. Blind Luck by a flared nostril over Havre de Grace.
They should be coming around the turn, getting near the quarter pole. Looks like I can see somebody towards the top of the lane. Can't make out yet who any of the runners are at this juncture, so your guess is as good as mine. They're in the lane here for the 4th race at Finger Lakes. And now they're starting to get inside the final furlong. Along the inside, now picking it up. I Can't Dance from the outside. I Can't Dance. And battling with him looks like Seamus Judge. Is that Seamus Judge? I'm not quite sure. Yes, it is. Seamus Judge and I Can't Dance. Seamus Judge under the wire first.
Fasig-Tipton's Bane Welker talks about the upcoming July selected yearling sale.
As you mentioned, a select sale coming up here the 13th and 14th. What are the criteria that those selections are based on?
Well, before you gain entry into the sale, you have to jump through a couple of hoops, and those hoops meaning that first you have to be approved on pedigree. Once we approve you on pedigree, then you're selected on overall confirmation. Where we set up an inspection at the farms. And what we're looking for is a well-conformed horse, that looks like an athlete to us.
Well, there's no doubt that there's a lot of intrigue from these horses over the 2 days on paper with their breeding and sire lines and broodmare lines. But when will the public get a chance to see these horses firsthand?
Well, most of the consignments that are coming in here are setting up today. Horses will be shipping in tomorrow. Come first thing Saturday morning, the majority of consigners will be ready to show the stock they have on the grounds.
Really sets you apart from a lot of sales is the graduates that have come out. And looking back over the past few years, so many graded stakes winners, and one of those being Blind Luck, and it purchased for a mere $11,000 as a yearling at the Fasig-Tipton in July. This there has to be so much pride involved in this and seeing these horses do so well once they leave the sale.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And the beauty of this sale is, last year the average was just shy of 80,000. Blind Luck came out at 11,000. Our high was a Medaglia d'Oro filly at 425. But you can come in, the majority of the selection process, the work's been done for you. The format is simple. It's a one-book, 2-day sale.
And David Flores walks us through his trip aboard Awesome Gem in the Grade 1 Hollywood Gold Cup.
You get a little bit, your muscles start getting a little, you had to warm up a little more, so I had to warm up yesterday all the way to the half mile. Like, I normally go a little bit to 3/8, but yesterday I kind of feel like he needs a little bit more help, so I had to make sure that he's in his toes. And it was great. I mean, going to the gate, he was more like not really relaxed, but he was into it. Like he knew it was his day. In a races like that, sometimes you had to take a chance because the best horse, he's got the best position on the outside. So my best chance is to choose to be lucky and get through somehow. And I got a chance to, when I jump hills over the horse in front of me, to move down to the fence. That was a move, and it was. You just take a split of a second to make a decision like that, and I'm glad that the hole stayed open and just enough. When my horse got through, he's a fighter. He loves a fight. I was so happy for him because I tell you, after the race, you can see him. He was like, if I get the Grade 1 for him, and but after all, I mean, I take the blinkers off, and I just want to see his face, his eyes, and he looks like so happy. He's a machine, I can tell you that, because every time he goes out there and he gives his heart out. So I'm so pleased with his sound. I mean, Craig, he give him his breaks and he bring him back. He take his time, and I think that's one of the things. When you have a guy like him and that care for the horse and he care for the main thing is to keep him sound. So every time he goes out there on the track, he's happy.
That's all for this week on HRTV. Here's a look at what's coming up next week.